Hari 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 Om Tats. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Shuddho Buddho Vimukta Shruti Shikhara Giram Mukhyatatparya Bhumi Yasmad Jadam Samastam Jagadidam Amrtad Vyapya Sarvam Sthito Yaha Yasyam Sham Shavataraihi Suranaravanajairakshidam Sarvamedad Tam Bhumanam Mukundam Hridigatam Amalam Krishnameva Prapadye Tam Bhumanam Mukundam Hridigatam Amalam Krishnameva Prapadye Madhya Hridaya Kashe Sadanandamayo Guru Udetu Satatam Samyak Swahatmananda Prabodhakaha. Hari 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 Om Tats. As usual, we shall recite the auspicious monosyllable Omkara 3 times jointly. Remember, this joint recitation should permeate the entire globe, showering its benedictions on all creatures of the globe. Interlock your fingers and put them on your lap. Sit comfortably erect. Close your eyes. Open the mouth and heart and join me. Hari Hari. Now we shall recite, as usual, the Bhagavad Gita verse where Arjuna makes his confession before Krishna, seeking him to redress his grief, delusion and fear. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad
Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyat
Yachokamuchoshanamindriyanam
Yachokamuchoshanamindriyanam
Avapya bhuma vasapatnamrdham
Avapya bhuma vasapatnamrdham
Rajyam suranamapi chadhipatyam
Rajyam suranamapi chadhipatyam
Rajyam suranamapi chadhipatyam
Rajyam suranamapi chadhipatyam.
We shall recite, all of you. I will lead and you can follow the last 2 verses of the 2nd chapter, where Krishna is explaining who is Esthitadhi, a man of stable wisdom, stable intelligence. Vihaya kaman yas sarvan
Vihaya kaman yas sarvan
Pumam charati nispraha
Pumam charati nispraha
Nirmamo nirahankaraha
Nirmamo nirahankaraha
Sashantimadhigacchati
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 Esha Brahmi Sthitih Partha
Esha Brahmi Sthitih Partha
Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati
Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati
Sthitvasyam Antakalebi
Sthitvasyam Antakalepi
Brahmanirvana Mrichati
Brahmanirvana Mrichati
Brahmanirvana Mrichati
Brahmanirvana Mrichati.
I don't have to tell you specially today because this point has been repeatedly explained. Sthita Prajna is one who sits in meditative contemplation. In the contemplational process, he reaches a state of absolute absorptional stillness. Generally, you don't have this kind of a state any time in your life. We are wakeful for 16 hours of the day. All the wakeful hours we are active and interactive. Our senses will be active. Sometimes tongue and mouth will be active. Invariably, mind and intelligence also will be active. So it is constantly a state of activity, the more and more intense form and degrees of it. Very seldom does anyone think of keeping quiet and observing the internal processes. People who come here, sometimes for the first time or even maybe later, I always tell them, why don't you spend some time alone with yourself, closing your eyes, sitting preferably cross-legged in a special seat meant for the purpose. Try to observe your own inner mental processes. Never interfere in them. Don't follow anything. Never feel any sense of complaint about it. Allow the mind to do whatever it wants to do. Let one thought or one emotion after the other surge forth in the mind. I only want you to observe. Nothing should transpire in the mind without your concurrent knowledge and awareness of it. How long? I tell them maximum 20 minutes a time. That's all. The only condition required to be fulfilled is that you should not have anything solid in your stomach undigested. Generally, people have some kind of a prayerful habit. If they have something like that, they get up early in the morning, have their bath, do maybe some kind of a puja themselves or through others. At the end of it, you can practice this, sitting and observing the mind processes. Understand that the mind is very, very vast. Our body alone is limited. It is this inner mind that reflects the entire world scenes that you are observing. Our eyes are very small. But the perception that we have visually is very, very extensive. You can call it infinite. How is it that you are able to perceive this infinitude? Is certainly not within the eyes. Certainly not. The eyes are only instrumental in the matter of perceiving objects. What the eyes do is send electrical pulses to the brain center, as I have said so many times. It is the brain center that interprets the experience and gives it the status of knowledge, etc. So what is the role of the senses? Nothing. It's only an instrument. Like you are using your leg for walking, you are using your eyes for seeing. That's all. So where is this perception taking place? Certainly not within the eyeball. It is within the body, in the sphere or in the level called the mind. That mind is not part of the body. It is associated with the body, that's all. Mind is not matter, but the eyes are matter, body is matter, eardrum is matter. Matter is inert. It cannot produce any experience at all. It is totally inert and insentient. That mind is very vast. That is why it is able to reflect and make you realize the so-called extensive world, the infinite sky even, and the countless number of stars glittering in the sky. Understand, reflect upon the measure and magnitude of the mind. That vast mind produces the so-called thoughts and emotions, feelings, memories, etc. Let one part of the mind observe the rest of the mind processes and simply remain there. Mark, I only want you to observe, nothing more. Don't get involved in the mind processes, just observe. If the mind wants to think, let it. If it does not want, let it not. You only observe. Nothing should transpire in the mind as a process without your concurrently knowing it, experiencing it well in full measure. That's all. This is the beginning of meditation. This is the beginning of meditation. Now, when one is properly initiated by the teacher, by the Sadguru, and he initiates him into a process of inner spiritual contemplation, that process when you practice, the purpose of meditation is to reach the source of the thought process. The source of the thought process. Now you may wonder, is the source of the thought process easily available to us? Why not? If the production called thought is available to us, the source of production also is available to us. If you are walking, walking is a process done by the legs. So when you are walking, the legs are in a state of motion. Do you mean to say in walking the legs become absent? Similarly, the source of the thought process. How can I explain it? Yes, I can explain it very well. Will you follow me? 16 hours of the day I said you are wakeful and active. At the end of the day, each day, every day, what happens? We withdraw from our active life, all actions and interactions, and we are ready to go to sleep. What is this sleep? Our own mind, our own inner presence, it wipes off all the wakeful impressions at the end of the day. How it wipes off? It is for you to find out. It is taking place every day in your system. It wipes off and you sleep. Sleep is an intransitive verb. So one sleeps all by himself. He is not helped by any factor. He is not coupled with, associated with any other factor. You get up from sleep and then say, I slept. I slept. During sleep, you don't have the body. You are not conscious of it. Nor the mind, nor the intelligence, nor ego, nor the world. So when everything is left, you get absorbed into sleep. And you remain there for nearly 8 hours of the day, half the wakeful period. So we clearly understand that there is a state of absorption possible and we are experiencing it every day. Now I want you to actualize this absorption without sleeping, before sleeping, during wakeful state. Remain wakeful and look at the mind and the mind processes until at last the mind process itself comes to a state of dissolution, setting. Every thought arises and subsides. It emerges and subsides. No thought remains for long. So the emergence as well as subsidence of the thought is taking place in your mind. So the mind is the source of it. So in meditation, real meditation, what happens is you reach a state of absorptional stillness, still absorption. That is called the Sthita Prajna state. A man cannot obviously be active at that time. He will withdraw from all activities. He will also withdraw from all the mental, intellectual processes in him. And he gets into a state of absolute stillness, placidity, quietude, and beatitude. This is what happens. Now, that is not what we want. We want to experience it and derive the insight from it. Oh, there is something called the I in me, into which I go in sleep, but I don't know anything about it. But when I get into a kind of a still absorption in the waking state, I understand the mystery of sleep. I also understand the mystery of the I that you have. What is the one that slept? Devoid of all other things like body, mind, intelligence, ego, and the world. Now this you will be able to actualize. And from that insight, your whole life will be transformed, elevated, expanded, enlightened, purified, sublimated, enriched, empowered. All kinds of qualities will start coming to you, provided you seek and pursue them. Now, second part of the Bhagavad Gita, Sthita Prajna Darshana, is that Sthitadhi state. That is what he explains here. You no more need the absorptional stillness. You are no more after any kind of an inner special state. You have reached a state of harmony with everything. Harmony with whatever you have in the mind. All the thought processes, emotional processes, memory processes, knowledge processes, doubt processes. Whatever is there in the mind, you get reconciled with, harmonious with. Nothing will upset you, agitate you, afflict you, torment you, dislodge you. The I in you remains as itself. As the I remains as itself throughout, you also start remaining like the I, because you are the I. Let the senses continue to do their interactions. Let the eye see, the ears hear, the nose smell, the tongue taste, and the skin touch. You are not in conflict with anything. Nothing in the outside world will be able to attract and allure you, nor will anything be able to repel and dislodge you also. You reach such a state of flexibility, placidity, poise, sublimity, as a result of which everything becomes harmonious for you. You are no more a seeker. You don't seek anything. All the perceptions are equally revelation of the same singular source. In all the thought processes, the mind is present. In all the understanding processes, the intelligence is present. In all the wakeful processes, the I, the subject, also is present. All the objects become a display and manifestation of the subject itself. It is I who perceive. It is I who perceive. So the perceiving process is inside, not outside. Though eyes, E-Y-E-S, eyes are used for perception, the perceiving process is not objective or in the body. It is inside the body. And the perceiver expresses himself as perceiving and he gains perception. The whole process is revolving around the eye, around the subject. You are not able to feel anything different from the eye as the object. The entire objectude is floating in the subjectude called the eye. This becomes such a wonderful state. There you have no oscillation, vacillation, no kind of affectation at all. Everything becomes harmonious. If there are seeming disharmonies, you become harmonious with disharmonies themselves. The state of harmony, the quality of harmony, the achievement of harmony is of such a dimension that nothing becomes disharmonious for you. Every thought you are harmonious with. Every emotion you are harmonious with. Are you not harmonious with the intake of oxygen and the expulsion of carbon dioxide? In your body you carry carbon dioxide. Are you not harmonious with it? In the same manner, the mento-intellectual processes also become harmonious with you. This is the wonderful state of fullness, abundance, inner affluence, opulence, plentifulness. Nothing can add to you. Nothing can take away anything from you. There is neither plus nor minus for your inner being. Can you imagine the state of abundance, the state of beatitude that you will achieve in that condition? Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha. This is what the young Sri Rama, 16-year-old prince of Ayodhya, confesses. Before whom? Before his teacher, Vasishtha Deva. Anta prasannamadhirastha samastha shokaha shobham gatoham amalashaya eva shandhya anandamatmani gata swayamatmanaiva nairmalyamapyupagatosmi namostu mahyam. I read this. To some extent I explained it. I want to explain it further. Because it is such a wonderful, unique, unparalleled statement which any seeker, especially a young one like Sri Rama, 16-year-old, can think of making. Aravindan, I want all of you to recite after me. I will stop and recite. And Aravindan will do it from here. Antah prasannamadihi
Antah prasannamatihi
asta samasta shokaha
Asta samasta shokaha
Antah prasannamadihi
Antah prasannamatihi
asta samasta shokaha
Asta samasta shokaha
shobham gadoham
Shobham gatoham
amalashaya eva shandhya
Amalashaya eva shantya
shobham gadoham
Shobham gatoham
amalashaya eva shandhya
Amalashaya eva shantya
anandamatmani gataha
Anandamatmani gataha
swayamatmanaiva
Swayamatmanaiva
anandamatmani gataha
Anandamatmani gataha
swayamatmanaiva
Swayamatmanaiva
nairmalyamapyupagatosmi
Nairmalyamapyupagatosmi
namostu tasmai.
Namostu tasmai
No, wrong. Namostu mahyam.
Namostu mahyam
Nairmalyamapyupagatosmi.
Nairmalyamapyupagatosmi
Namostu mahyam.
Namostu mahyam.
I don't know what I should do. Shall I get up? How to reach you? How to make you understand that you contain this treasure within your body? People are running after God, not knowing He is present everywhere as well as within themselves. How many temples are there? How many places of worship are there? How many different forms of idols are there? Hundreds, thousands, lakhs, millions of people go there. Searching whom? Searching the omnipresent God. Is omnipresent God to be searched or is He to be found? If at all, where is He to be found? I have explained to you several times that all interactions are not external. They are within the body, in the sphere of consciousness. The perceiver is within. His act of perception is doubtlessly within. That perceiving process as well as the perception also are inner. So can you ever see an object at all? When you see an object like a tree, I have explained so many times, the tree stands where it is and you are where you are. You don't go to the tree and the tree doesn't come to you, yet you perceive it. It is too huge and big. How do you perceive it? Light rays reflecting from the tree touch the cornea. The cornea sends electrical pulses to the brain center. The whole perception is inner, inner, inner. How many times can I tell you this? When will you remember and understand this? If this is so, can the omnipresent God be seen anywhere outside? All experiences are inner, my dear souls. All experiences are inner. The body or the senses have no power and potential to generate any experience whatsoever. They are inert. They are inert. They are an aggregate of matter. What can the body do? Nothing. Everything is done by the mind. Antah prasannamadihi. After listening to Vasishtha Deva for nearly 16-17 days, from the morning to evening, what was the condition of Sri Rama? The 16-year-old Rama, after completing his lessons in archery, sought permission from his father Dasharatha to go on a pilgrimage. Along with a retinue, he went on a pilgrimage, long and arduous pilgrimage. His eyes saw many things. He had not exited from the palace of Ayodhya till then. So he saw the wide world, various collections of human beings. He had occasions to talk to them, observe them, to some extent interact with them. All that he saw was totally different from what he could possibly expect. He was drowned in misery, affliction, torment, disgust, detachment. He returned and he was unable to conduct himself as a prince. Even daily ablutions he could not do properly. He was so miserable. When Vasishtha Deva came to know of his plight, he told the Maharaja, his father, this is not something for you to treat, especially because Sri Rama has contracted this infection after his pilgrimage. Call him to our presence. I shall talk to him. Rama came and poured forth all the sufferings of his heart, what he saw. His narration included a statement. I am not able to see, even in a dream, a good and a noble person in the world. This is what he said. I am agonized. I am afflicted. I am tormented. I am not able to lodge myself within me. Vasishtha Deva took up the thread and he started explaining. My dear souls, I want you to understand what was the interaction between the two. Vasishtha spoke and Rama heard. No other ritual or ceremony or worship was conducted there. Vasishtha spoke and Rama heard. Whenever he had doubt, he raised questions and Vasishtha answered and clarified. It was an auditory interaction between the two. It is an interaction between the teacher, the knower teacher, and the seeking disciple. In other words, it was a dialogue between the enlightened intelligence and the deluded mind. Vasishtha representing the enlightened intelligence and Rama representing the deluded mind. It went on. Rama started absorbing, assimilating, selfizing everything that he heard. The more and more he heard, he found his thought process was getting dissolved. What? Dissolved. In the same way as the thoughts arise, they also subside in your mind. Is there any thought in you which has not arisen and then subsided? So our mind not merely generates thoughts, it also dissolves the thought. The source and the terminus of the thought process are the mind and the mind alone. So Sri Rama's mind started dissolving. All the dross, all the impurities, if at all he had, all the oscillations that he had, everything became quietened. Antaha, inwardly, prasannamadihi, ba. Inwardly, I have become pleasant, cheerful, delighted. I have started exulting in my own inner being. I find a radiance, I find a brilliance, I find a splendor, unlike that of the sun and the moon and the lightning. I call it a splendor, but don't misunderstand it to be light. Light is only for the eyes. For the mind, pleasantness is the prakasha, the splendor. Anta prasannamadihi asta samasta shokaha. All my grief has been dissipated, attenuated, has become extinct. With the rising of the inner spiritual splendor, all the grief and agitation of the mind has subsided. Shobham gatoham. My dear Vasishtha Deva, I have attained to my own innate inner brilliance, effulgence. Amalashayayeva shantya. My mind has become very placid, pure, immaculate, calm, resplendent. With the grace of quietude that has descended on the mind, I have attained my own intrinsic glory and grandeur. Are you with my words? Are you hearing me? You only have complained about your inner personality. My mind, it is running. Where will it run? Can it exit the body? Then will you not lie like a corpse? Nonsense. Mind goes. Where does it go? Has it come? Will it ever go? What nonsense are you speaking? Are you thinking? Better think reasonably and well. If you cannot make use of the assistance of the scriptures and revelations like this, see what Rama says. Shobham gatoham amalashayayeva shantya. You only have words of abuse against the mind. You are not able to say the mind is graceful. It is resplendent. It is effulgent. It is the one thing that reveals to you the presence of the body, the presence of grief, the presence of joy, the presence of tension, the presence of agitation. Who reveals it to you? Everything is revealed by the mind. So is it not a source of revelation? Amalashayayeva shantya. By listening to you, Vasishtha Deva, and absorbing your message repeatedly, my mind has forgotten about impurity. It has become purity personified. Anandamatmani gataha. I have attained the blissfulness that is hidden in my own inner presence. Swayamatmanaiva. In attaining this inner pleasantness, supreme glory and blessedness, what factor has helped me? No external factor. It is my own inner being, my own wish, my own will, my own spirit of absorption and assimilation of whatever you said and whatever I heard. Nirmalyamapyupagadosmi. I have attained the zenith and climax of purity. Namostu mahyam. How can I make you feel this? We only know to prostrate, register our respects before God and godly agencies. Now Sri Rama is saying, I have attained my quietude by virtue of my own grace and effort. By virtue of the benediction pronounced by the mind and the intelligence. I did not know anything, but I have known all by listening to you for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days. The whole mind is transformed. The intelligence is recast. Both of them start reflecting. The beatitude of the subject, the resplendence and splendor of the subject, not eclipsed by the object. I am a subject person. I am effulgent by nature. I am free. I am ecstatic. I am abundant. I am opulent inwardly. There is no dearth for me. There is no lack for me. The world can add nothing to me. It can take away nothing from me. I stand full and complete by virtue of my own inwardness. Namostu mahyam. I have discovered how abundant I am. I prostrate before myself. My dear souls, as I told you earlier, this is the zenith of spiritual perfection. All your running should stop. All your craze should vanish. You have nothing to get from anywhere in this world or from the heavens. Our body is full of material substances. Our inner being is full of the spiritual affluence, resplendence. Nairmalyamapyupagadosmi namostu mahyam. What do you understand from this? Nowhere in the whole world you will find a statement like this. I prostrate before myself. I have nothing to be adoring. In fact, the world comes next and I stand first. Only when I am there, the world is apprehended, comprehended, seen or perceived. If I close my eyes, no object will be visible. That is why I say, in a light-hearted manner, if God were to come and stand before me, and I am not prepared to open my eyes, poor God will have to go back unseen by this Swami. He will have to beg of me, Swamiji, I have come. Please open your eyes and see me. Understand, seeing does not belong to the inert world. It belongs to you. It belongs to you by the glory of your birth. We are animate. We are conscious. We are sentient. In attaining this supreme spiritual state, no factor outside is of any help at all. I will take you to verse number 53 of the second chapter. Shruti vipradipannate yada sthasyati nischala samadha vachala buddhi tada yogamavapsyasi. Will you recite it? Following me. Shruti vipratipannate
Shruti vipratipannate
yada sthasyati nischala
yada sthasyasi nischala
samadha vachala buddhi
samadha vachala buddhi
tada yogamavapsyasi.
tada yogamavapsyasi.
In verse number 53, which I explained while I was on that verse, it is clearly said by Krishna to Arjuna, your intelligence, which is getting tossed by conflicting versions you read from religious texts, spiritual and philosophical and yogic texts, conflicting versions are there. Reading all of them, the mind and the intelligence also become vacillating. The tossing mind and the intelligence, when in your own inside, in your own antakarana, when both of them stop, they no more shake, they no more swing or swerve. When they have attained a state of nischalata, non-movingness, they remain stable, poised, still and absorbed. That is the state of yoga. Yoga is not something different from your intelligence, different from your mind. While walking, your legs are constantly moving. When you stand quiet, the legs are visible in full measure. They remain stable. In the same manner, the mind substance, the intelligent substance, both will remain visible before you, not with the eyes, both will become comprehensible before your mind and intelligence. By the mere purity of the intelligence, this inward fullness is attained. By the mere purity. I would like you to understand that finally, what have you to prostrate before? Whom have you to adore, and for what? Mind you, we are the human being. We are not jackals, tigers, lions, elephants, and whales. They are bodily huge, powerful also. The human is not supposed to be bodily powerful. He has to be powerful by the grace of the mind and the intelligence. The intelligence is the most superior part in our personality. That is why people of intelligence are valued most, paid also most. Adhigatam adhigamyam nyayamaptam mayedam vigatam akhilamaikyam dvaidamastam prayadam parigalitam ashesham drishyabhedavabhanam nanu nipunamapasta shesha samsaritastha. I would like you to carry this message ever. Let others also know. Explain it to your own household members. Adhigatam adhigamyam
adhigatam adhigamyam
nyayamaptam mayedam
nyayamaptam mayedam
vigatam akhilamaikyam
vigatamakhilamaikyam
dvaidamastam prayadam
prayadam
parigalitamashesham drishyabhedavabhanam nanu nipunamapasta ashesha samsaritastha. How to take you to Ayodhya, to that wonderful assembly which along with the 16-year-old Prince Rama was listening to Vasishta's narration, which lasted for 18 days from morning to evening. See the effect of listening. See the effect of introspection. The entire inner personality is transformed, transfused. The unholy elements started dropping. They dropped. And the whole personality became holy, 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 brilliant, splendorous. Adhigatam adhigamyam nyayamaptam mayedam adhigatam adhigamyam. Whatever is to be known, my dear teacher, Vasishtha Deva, I have known. I have no more aspiration to know. All knowledge, academic knowledge, generally relate to the objects of the world. And the objects are innumerable, endless, infinite. But the object is not a reality. It is a phenomenal display of the subject itself in itself. You perceive the world. Where? In your mind. Mind is inside the body. Its status is subjective. So the subjective mind displays the objective world. Tell me now, is the objective world a reality or the subjective mind is the reality? Whatever is reflected in the subject, is it not subjective? Then how do you ascribe objectivity to anything in this world? Adhigatam adhigamyam. I have known that subject. Therefore my knowledge is full, complete, infinite, leaving nothing else to be known. Nyayamaptam mayedam. By me, whatever is to be known, the knowable has been known. If there is anything to be known, the knowable, then I have known it. Vigatam akhilam aikyam. All the plurality, infinitude that the senses bring about and try to impose, all of them have been reduced to a singular inner presence. I don't know whether you follow my words, their ideas. You may perceive infinite number of objects. The infinite number of objects are perceived. Where is the perception? Inside the body. Who is the perceiver? You yourself. So you yourself perceive the plurality. So what is this plurality? This plurality is the perceiver's own display in himself. Can you alter my statement? Question and invalidate it. Your mind takes an imprint of the object, and that inner mental imprint alone you see, you experience. So is there any objectivity in your perception? Vigatam akhilam aikyam dvaidamastam prayadam. Any talk of duality or plurality has set for me ever, forever. Nothing called plurality, duality or manifoldness. Everything is a mere display inside by the subject. Parigalitam ashesham drishyabhedavabhanam. What is this world? Nobody knows. We only know our sensory reading of the world. The entire world consists of infinite number of objects. All of them are reduced to 5 by the 5 senses we have. They are either sights or sounds or smells or tastes or touches. Who makes the world 5? The world makes or our senses make? Our senses. These sensory imprints, do they remain separately? No. They create only 2 reactions in us, pleasant and unpleasant, happiness and unhappiness. And they too dissolve in the mind when you sleep. So you tell me, where are the many? Where are the many? Parigalitamashesham drishyabhedavabhanam. Drishyabhedavabhanam. All the differences which the visible world brings about, all of them have fallen. Nanu nipunam apasta shesha samsaharidastha. How can I then have any interest in worldliness at all? All my worldly interest has completely fallen, become extinct. I suffered by looking at the world. I was dejected, disappointed, despondent. All that has gone, my dear sage, by virtue of your instruction and blessing. Nanu nipunamapasta shesha samsaharidastha. All my interest in worldliness has fallen, absolutely. This Rama has no problem now with any kind of an object or object perception. He is subject personified. He is subject embodied. He knows everything in terms of the subject and its projection, display, manifestation alone. Nipunam. By listening to your words, I have dexterously led all the manifold ideas into extinction. Everything has gone. There is a beautiful verse in Yoga Vasishta Ramayana. What is that? Dvitva igatva drishau chittam tadeva jnanam uchyade etayor yo layo drishtyoho tat jnanam sa paragati. Would you like to recite this? It's a smaller verse. Dvitvaigatva drishau chittam.
Dvitvaigatva chittam.
A little tongue twisting, is it not? Dvitvaigatva.
Dvitvaigatva.
Dvitva.
Dvitva.
Ekatva.
Ekatva.
Dvitvaigatva.
Dvitvaigatva.
Drishau.
Drishau.
Dvitvaigatva drishau.
Dvitvaigatva drishau.
Chittam.
Chittam.
Tadeva.
Tadeva.
Ajnanamuchyade.
Ajnanamuchyate.
Etayoho.
Etayoho.
Yolayo.
Yolayo.
Drishtyoho.
Drishtyoho.
Tajnanam.
Tajnanam.
Sa paragadihi.
Sa paragatihi.
I am wondering, are you smiling, laughing, or are you feeling strained? Where will you get such verses? Who will reveal you to these truths? Vasishta tells Sri Rama, Dvitva egatva drishau chittam. We have got a wonderful thing called the mind within our body. Nobody knows. If at all everybody blames the mind, nobody speaks a good word about the mind. But I am one who will say, mind is the inexplicable treasure that you have. Mind is a treasure. It is a treasure, invaluable treasure. Make it so, my dear souls. There is no money required for it. Not even the so-called academic education helpful. You will know about the mind when you start reflecting, ruminating, introspecting. I don't think anybody needs much of education for it. You know what is meant by a thought, chinta. You know what is meant by buddhi. You know what is meant by vichara, introspection. Take to introspection and the whole mystery will be revealed for you. So he says, Dvitva ekatva drishau chittam. Do you know what is the mind? Shall I get up? What is the mind? Mind is the twin notion of Dvitva and Ekatva, duality and non-duality. The differential notion that you foster, that you cling to, in the way of non-duality and duality, that itself is the mind. As long as you have the thoughts of duality and non-duality, and they start influencing you unduly, you are said to be having the mind. Tadeva ajnana muchyade. That itself is called spiritual ignorance. Ignorance is not anything else. It is the fostering of the twofold vision, Dvitva and Ekatva, non-dualness and dualness. Edayor yo leyo drishtyoho. When you are able to lead the two visions into one, understand that the world is not world. It is, on the other hand, my perception. What? I employ my senses. My senses are not made by the father or the mother or the world. The fetus itself developed my senses. With the senses, when I work, I find fivefold world. Sight, sound, touch, taste and smell. The fivefold world is created by the senses, and the senses are employed by the mind. The whole activity and perception are inside the body, in the sphere of the mind. Once you understand that it is so, that the dual notion and the non-dual notion both are inhering in the mind. Mind is the owner, mind is the maker. Ask the mind to dissolve it. Understand that it is mind-made, mind-born, mind-sustained, mind-bearing. When you understand it in this manner, tat jnanam sa paragadihi. That becomes the full spiritual wisdom, and that is the supreme state of salvation and freedom. Dvitva igatva drishau chittam tadeva jnanam uchyade etayor yo leyo drishtyo tat jnanam sa paragadihi. What are we to understand from this? What are we to understand from this? In your life, nothing is created from outside. In fact, all forms of growth anywhere, anytime is from inside to outside. No growth from outside to inside. Knowingly or unknowingly, all of you have acquired in the course of your life a number of imaginations, assessments, viewpoints, evaluations. Most of them are undigested, absolutely erroneous, sometimes even disastrous. Everything is a product of delusion, unthinkingness. We call it sankalpa. It is the imaginary process of the mind. You see a huge dream, exactly similar to the wakefulness. When you get up, what happens? It's all a dream. It was never there. The same is the case with the wakeful world also. I again ask you, wakefulness, where from is it born? It is born from your sleep. Is there anybody in this world who can say, I woke up but not from sleep? We leave sleep and wake up. And from wakefulness we go to sleep again. So before waking, after waking, it is the same sleep. So is not the in-between product sleep itself, sleep zone. It is exactly like the dream that you have. Its genesis is sleep. Its terminus is sleep. Then what is this? It is the sleeper's own 16-hour-long imagination. Sankalpajalakalanaiva jagat samagram Sankalpajalakalanattu mano vilasaha Sankalpajalamanamusrija nirvikalpam Ashritya nischayamavapnuhi Ramashantim. Would you like to recite this verse? Aravindan, can you repeat the way I repeat?
Yes, yes.
Sankalpajalakalanaiva
Sankalpajalakalanaiva
Jagat samagram
Jagat samagram
Sankalpajalakalanaiva
Sankalpajalakalanaiva
Jagat samagram
Jagat samagram
Sankalpajalakalanattu
Sankalpajalakalanattu
Mano vilasaha
Mano vilasaha
Sankalpajalakalanattu
Sankalpajalakalanattu
Mano vilasaha
Mano vilasaha
Sankalpajalamalam
Sankalpajaalamalam
Utsruja Nirvikalpam Sankalpajalamalam Utsruja
Sankalpajaalamamutsrija Nirvikalpam Ashritya Nischayamavapnuhi
Rama Shantim. See, we have come to our mind. And what should be done? The only act to be done is by the mind, in the mind, to the mind, for the mind. Throw away all considerations. Stop all practices. Be indifferent to everything that the senses perceive. You have nothing to do with them. Your mind is what matters. Make it qualitative. Enrich it. Empower it. Expand it. Enlarge it. Enlighten it. Decorate it. Ornament it. Embellish it. How much of time you are spending per day for the body? 2.5 to 3 hours to feed and nourish it. Are you spending any time with your mind? Any time with your intelligence? Are you feeding them? Nourishing them? What kind of a partial outlook all of you are suffering from? How can you complain about the sufferings that you have then? The sufferings are not bodily sufferings which medicine looks after. What about the sufferings of your mind? Have you ever gone into them? Arjuna did prolonged austerity when he was in his forest exile, but he did not go into his mind, as a result of which he crumbled when he came to the battlefield. His body started trembling, mind started whirling, intelligence started counter-arguing. Gandiva slipped from his hand, from his fist. He was unable to stand. Leaving his weapons, he sat, looking fondly at Krishna for some direction, consolation or relief. Krishna then was singing. That is our Bhagavad Gita. Rama also was in a state of intense agony, and Vasishtha was singing to him. Sankalpajalakalanaiva jagat samagram Sankalpajalakalanattu manovilasaha. The entire world is a creation of your mind, Rama. Your mind, which produced the senses, and through the senses it functions. When it activates the senses, the world is felt. The world is felt as what? Not in its infinite manner. It is felt only as Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa, Gandha. 5 things. And these 5 things sink into your mind only to generate Sukha and Dukkha, happiness and misery too. They are also absorbed when you go to sleep. Only when you wake up next, the world springs and emerges. The entire world is laden with your own imagination, sankalpa. If anybody is happy, feels contented, I have married, I have children, I am prosperous, I am employed, I am resourceful, I have 2 houses, good cars. These are all estimations, calculations, imaginations, thought processes of the mind. With many things around you, the mind can still be suffering. With nothing around you like us, we can still be floating in the ecstasy of the spirit. Mind you, India is a great country. This is the land where people cherish to leave everything and live in solitude or as wanderers. My dear souls, are you following me? This is a country where even the richest people yearn to possess poverty. They prefer austerity to opulence. How many kings and emperors in this country have left the throne and spent their life only in forest and solitude? What do you think of India? Don't refer to the economic prosperity of India and call it a poor country. No. Here are people, here is a heritage, here is the cultural elegance. To leave everything when life is good to live and embrace austerity and poverty. I am one belonging to that. We cherish to be poor. We earn to become poor. And the zenith of it is, we earn to have nothing. That is why I always say, I am nothing and I want nothing. What is there to be had? Can you take even a safety pin and put it into your mind, for it to possess? Can you possess anything objective in your mind? Mind can possess thoughts, feelings, emotions, virtues, characteral elegance, behavioral majesty, and interactional excellence. These are the 3 great bounties for the mind. We are aspirants of this inner legacy, inner superfluity, profundity. Sankalpajala kalanaiva jagat samagram sankalpajala kalanattu mano vilasaha. The entire joy and exultation that you find, that you feel, is a product of the mind. Contentment belongs to the mind. It does not belong to the body. It does not belong to an object of the world. Contentment is emotional and it belongs to your mind, my dear souls. Sankalpajala malamutsrija. Enough of this sankalpa, Rama. For all the janmas you have been doing only imagination, say goodbye to it. Already there is superfluity of it. Nirvikalpama ashritya, reach the state of nirvikalpa, doubtlessness, desirelessness. That inner repose. nirvikalpama ashritya nishchayamavapnuhi ramashantim. Definitely attain that quietude which you are aspiring for by leaving sankalpa. You know, Rama was able to do it and he did it. How realistic was the instruction given by the sage. All that he spoke was his own experience, the sage's own experience. It carried his own testimony. That is why it had the great effect. Sankalpa samkshayavashad galidedu chitte samsara moha mihima galita bhavanti Shuddham vibhadi sharadiva khamagadayam chinmatramegamajamadyamanta Sankalpa samkshayavashad galidetu chitte samsara mohamihika galita bhavanti. Shall I take this verse? We have hardly 1 minute more, but I will extend. Sankalpa samkshayavashad
Sankalpa samkshayavashad
galitetu chitte
Galitetu chitte
samsara mohamihika
Samsara mohamihika
galita bhavanti
Shuddham
vibhadi
Shuddham vibhati
Sharadiva Khamagatayam
Chinmatramekamajam Adyamanantamantaha.
We should always be thankful to our nature. You know, I am explaining, Vasishtha was explaining, the inner glory, the inner treasure, the inner bounty, the inner profundity, the inner magnificence, exaltation. How to explain it? Because it is inside, it's invisible. Luckily we have the Panchabhutas in the world. The solid earth, the fluid water, the gaseous air, and then the fire, heat and brilliance, finally the space. Now, he is saying, one's mind and heart become like the sentient space. As in the spring season, no cloud, no color, nothing will be there in the sky. Shuddham vibhadi. It shines in its own intrinsic purity and brilliance. Sharadiva khamagatayam. In that season, how the sky shines in the same manner. Chinmatramekamajamadyamanantamantaha. You will start shining as sentience, which reveals thoughts, feelings, emotions, notions, memory, knowledge, doubt, inquiry, finding. All these will be revealed by the mind. When sankalpa samkshayavashad galitetu chitte. When you are trying to attenuate your imaginations, your thought processes, you will succeed one day, as a result of which the very mind and the mind process will fall, as it does in your sleep. How intensely active you are in waking, but how intensely are you absorbed in sleep? Both are intense. Early in the morning, the mind wakes up and it embraces all thoughts. In the evening, it sleeps. So the mind has got the capacity to possess and also to relinquish. Don't underestimate your mind. I swear that your mind has got the capacity to live as well as leave, to hold as well as to relinquish. Sankalpa samkshayavashat galidedu chitte. When the sankalpas and imaginations are attenuated by spiritual introspection and absorption, and the mind happens to fall, samsara mohamihika galita bhavanti. All the vapor, the cloud-like vapor of world, the entire worldliness, they are inside our body like clouds in the sky. They also will fall. The secret is the sankalpa, the imagination, the mind. Then you will find inside there is the beautiful expanse, the splendorous expanse, which we call otherwise the soul, God, etc. That will start shining. What a wonderful statement is this. I will recite it and stop for the day. Sankalpa samkshayavashat galidedu chitte samsara mohamihika galita bhavanti shuddham vibhadi saradiva kamagadayam chinmatramekam ajamadyam anantamantaha. The infinitude of sentience will start shining, glittering, scintillating within your body. We are discussing the Brahmi Sthiti. See? Where is Rama now standing? How was he before when the conversation began? He was an embodiment of gloom, cheerlessness, hopelessness, dejection, despondency. And how is he now? Not even 18 days have passed. See? See the magic of spiritual introspection and the dialogue which instills it. Okay, we shall stop today. I thought I will complete the second chapter, but we have not completed. I hope we will be able to do it next Saturday. Samvedyavarjitamanottamameghamadyam samvitpadam vikalanam kalayan mahatman hridyevatishta kalanarahita kriyam tu kurvan agartrapadamethya samodidashri kurvan agartrapadamethya samodidashri. Hari, Hari, Hari. We shall have the conclusional Omkara once as usual. Take your pose for it. Okay. Hari Om Tas. Jai Guru.